you guys probably think that the race in the spring was better, but as a driver, I would way rather run 100% all night long for 500 laps and run 50%. I don't think that's much of a race. So I grew up racing different stuff, where you do push the whole race. But I don't know. I think that version of Bristol is way more exciting.
All right, Kyle. Congratulations again. We appreciate you spending some time with us.
Thanks.
We'll now take questions for Kyle. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll work to get a mic to you. We'll start here with Ben, and then we'll make our way to Jacob and Stephen.
Kyle, Ben White with Fayetteville Observer USA Today. Obviously, you had a great car tonight. I noticed that you were close to a lot of cars that you had to be really patient around those cars. Did that cross your mind? Were you worried about the cars maybe that you were trying to pass getting into you tonight? Because it seemed to me like you were very patient around those cars.
Yeah, I was patient. For up until the last stage, it was a lot of lapping the same guys in the way that, kind of the runs would play out and all that. It was very similar every time. I struggled mostly with Suarez, which he was racing really hard to advance, and I'm not even sure if he did or not. But he was racing really hard, which I understood, and then a couple other guys were just fast enough. I could work the bottom and just stay inside of them. But I just felt like I just needed to be patient down there. I felt like I was doing a better job saving my tires down there. Just had to not forget that they were out there and not kind of run into them and spin or anything like that. So when you have a car that good, it helps to stay focused and patient, and we were able to do that.
Okay. Our next question will go to Trent and then Jacob. Or, I'm sorry, Stephen. Go ahead.
Stephen Sum, frontchurch.com. Kyle, you had 462 laps today, which I believe is the most by any driver at this track since 1977. Was there ever a point where the car just didn't feel perfect? And where does this rank among the best cars you've driven in Cup?
So the only run where I got like a little bit where I had to think like, okay, is the track changing, or did I just overrun my right rear tire, or what was the second run of the race? And I once I got to the third run, I just came to the conclusion that in the second run I just ran too hard. I passed Suarez, and then he was able to get back kind of by me, and I pushed pretty hard for 15, 20 laps. And once I eventually got clear of him or a couple guys, then I was like out of the racetrack, and it was just slick and loose and just less grip. But thankfully, Cliff and them, I don't think they made any adjustment after that. I just didn't really know what to kind of communicate to them what I was feeling about it. I just said, I don't know, I just have less grip now. And then the next run, I was able to pass Daniel pretty or quicker and get back to kind of just doing what I wanted to do and manage my tires, and my balance felt great again, and it felt great all night. So just kind of had to manage my stuff. My car was really good. I've had lots of great race cars at Hendrick Motorsports. Sometimes they've turned into wins. A lot of times, they haven't. I look at, kind of one that is more recent would probably be like Iowa this year. I felt like my car was extremely good there. And just unfortunately, didn't close out that one. I don't know. 2021, I had a lot of great cars. I don't know. I could, if I looked at the schedule, I could probably point out some great cars, but tonight was definitely one of them.
And then heading into this weekend, 6 of the last 7 races ended in overtime. How much, especially with the laps ticking down, I think it was like 170 laps green to the end. With the laps ticking down, how much kind of was that thought of what if there's a caution kind of in the back of your mind?
It's always in the back of your mind for sure. But, as I was looking out my windshield, and I can't see what's on the other side of the racetrack, but what was out in front of my windshield, everybody was kind of spread, equally apart. So I was like, okay, well, as long as nobody, it was a long, really, really long run. So I was like, as long as nobody has any tire failures, I don't think we're going to have a caution here. So yeah, then Cliff and them, they're trying to slow me down to save my tires in case we do have a caution, because I could tell that our call was probably going to be to stay out. But I'm like, man, I'm trying to get to the white flag as quick as I can. I don't want to slow down and cost myself a second and then miss the start finish line by a second before a caution comes out or something. But thankfully everybody kept it clean, and we were able to run that whole last run out, because I would have got pretty crazy at the end.
All right, we'll go to Jacob.
There we go. Jacob Seelman, Race Face Digital. Kyle, two for you. First, we all know you've done a lot of memorable things in a lot of different types of race cars. When you have a night like tonight where, somebody comes up to you after the race, I think Jeff came to you in Victory Lane and goes, are you, like Jeff Andrews was saying, are you going to break all my records? When you have a night like this where you put your name in that conversation or ahead of that conversation of guys like Jeff and Jimmy, I mean, do nights like this surprise you, or is it just, it's another day in the life of Kyle Larson?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's not like when I came to Hendrick, I didn't have any goals of beating any records of any of the others. Jimmy or Jeff, those are the two guys that probably have most all of the records, I would assume. So it's not something that's like that I'm like reaching for, but when it happens, it's really cool. Like I was really happy and proud to surpass Jeff in laps led in a season in 2021, and then tonight, I'm assuming I passed either him or Jimmy, based off how much they dominated in the 2000s. So, no, it's really cool, but at the same time, I think like, whenever I'm done racing or done being a driver at Hendrick Motorsports, and those records are still there, then it'll mean a lot to me. But for right now, it's like you're just trying to do a good job, and the records will take care of themselves, I guess. But I'm sure I'll be able to kind of think about it more when I'm down the road.
Give us a look inside the victory dynamic, or kind of the family dynamic, because obviously gotten to see a lot of Owens racing up and come in the last few years, and the moments like tonight that he's been able to celebrate with you. What do these moments mean to you? And I guess in contrast, what does it do for him as far as motivation, seeing your success and wanting to be more successful in his own right?
I don't know, Owen. What do you think?
Oh, he's hiding over there. I didn't even see him.
When I win, does it motivate you to win? No, it's cool. I obviously I love having my family here, and I feel like ever win when they're here. But and I guess only a quarter of them were here tonight. But no, I was I got the checker flag, and we were pitted. Our pit stall was on the backstretch. I was like, I'm gonna go drive down to the backstretch, and maybe my team's on the wall, and I can celebrate with them. And as I drove by, I saw Owen was on pit road celebrating. I was like, man, that's cool. I knew he went to the suite, or I thought you went to the suite during the race. So I thought I'd meet him in Victory Lane or something. By the time it took to get all the way down, but when I saw him there, I was like, oh, cool. I'm gonna stop right here and have him hop on and go slow, so I don't hopefully get in trouble. It's just cool building memories like that, and I'm hoping he will remember these moments for the rest of his life, and hopefully someday when he's winning races and has a family of his own, he'll get to find his own way to celebrate with his children.
All right, we're going to go upstairs to the press box.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Kyle, what's the dynamic like? You have all 4 Hendrick cars now moving on to the round of 12. They're your teammates, but you're all after the same prize. You have basically the same equipment, some of the best in the business. So how does that dynamic work? You want to be teammates, but you also all want the big prize.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I think we all work really well together, and the teams throughout the week do as well. probably even more closer than, the drivers get to work with each other, just because the crew chiefs and engineers and team members, they're with each other every day. But no, I mean, I think we just try to help each other out, and we want Rick and Linda Hendrick to have the best odds going into Phoenix to win a championship in the 40th season. So you don't do that by not working together. So no, that it doesn't change at all. If anything, I feel like we work closer together when it gets to this point in the season. So proud of that for sure. I think in the time that I've been there, it's been great. But it had sounded like before 2021, like they really had to build into that, for a few seasons. So yeah, it's a great thing right now at Hendrick Motorsports, and yeah, really cool to have 4 in the top 12 here, and all 4 are running really, really good too. So, Alex has been performing outstanding. It's been really cool to see. William, he's always fast. You can never count him out. He could go on a stretch of winning, all 3 races of this round, and you wouldn't be surprised. And same goes with Chase. He's just sneaky good, and Alan, everybody works really hard. So yeah, and then you have our team that's really strong as well. So it's fun right now.
My follow-up question, obviously we won't see another racetrack like Bristol, but is this a victory that kind of sends a message? I mean, it was so dominating, so powerful, and you put the other teams, in the ground, so to speak, tonight. Is this maybe a message victory to those guys? Like, if they're going to win the title, they're going to have to come through you.
I don't really think a performance like tonight sent a message, because I would think that majority of the teams, we've dominated lots of races. We've led the most laps in a number of races. So I think teams already know that we're capable of doing it on any given weekend. But no, it's definitely nice to do it. But there's also so many other great teams out there. So no, I don't think a performance like tonight just puts us as the sure favorite. It's just hard. Every week changes in the playoffs. So just got to keep bringing fast race cars and keep executing like we did tonight, and hopefully, more good runs will come.
All right, we'll take one final question up front here from Bob.
Make it a good one, Bob. It's the final question of the night.
Bob Parkhurst, Fox Sports. When did you realize that you were going to be able to go 100 laps on tires instead of like 40 or 50 in the spring?
I would say probably by lap 10 in practice. Like just you're visually scanning the racetrack, looking for marbles and stuff, and I didn't see any, so I was like, all right, I was happy for sure, because I know you guys probably think that the race in the spring was better, but as a driver, I would way rather run 100% all night long for 500 laps and run 50%. I don't think that's much of a race. So I grew up racing different stuff, where you do push the whole race. But I don't know. I think that version of Bristol is way more exciting.
All right, Kyle. Congratulations again. We appreciate you spending some time with us.
Thanks.